episode. But here we go. Straight politicking on all you suckers. And I'm here again. Spider Loc the most easty. Munchie B the mayor to my left. And I am Alex Alonso. I often forget to introduce myself. And I wanted to start off by fact check. I talked about Cowboy last week pressing me during the Eric Holder trial. It was actually during the Eric Holder sentencing. It wasn't the trial. The trial had already happened. And, sentencing is usually like a month or two later. And I think that month or two later gap is what made him realize, oh, this dude Alex Alonso, I realized he be functioning with Spider Loc. It wasn't, so I just wanted to make that correction that during the trial we was good. It was when I came back to the court sentencing date, which was about a month or two later, is when he realized what it was.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So I don't know if he still feels that way about me. Ain't seen him, ain't spoke to him since.
Yeah, oh well.
And I wanted to also mention that I thought it was a little surprising that a professional attorney would be listening to hip hop music. Most attorneys that I know don't listen to rap. They don't listen to hip hop.
To your knowledge.
So to my knowledge, yeah. And it wasn't no like shade on you that Jamal Kersey, criminal defense attorney from San Diego, knew exactly who you was and was tapped in with your music. In fact, said he was listening to something
not too long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
I feel nothing. I was shocked too, bro. I was shocked.
I'm shocked in general when professionals are tapped into hip hop.
Bro, I be shocked when I'm at the gas station in Compton and then be like, "Ain't you Spider Loc?" So I'm always shocked when a stranger acknowledges my attempt to be known to the public. So,
but I'm sure both you guys be getting recognized in the last couple of years because of a lot of stuff you've been doing online, right, Munch?
Yeah. I wasn't surprised they was tapped into Spider music though. I wasn't surprised.
Oh, okay. Well, most attorneys, they're pretty conservative. Not all of them, but I was actually surprised. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, there was a university that started teaching hip-hop classes.
I remember seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I like that. And then there's a professor at USC that wrote a chapter on the history of hip-hop. Professor, oh gosh, he's going to be mad at me. I can't remember his name. Oh, gosh.
Was he at USC or the other college he was at?
No, he's at USC. It'll come to me, man. Forgive me for,
John Cole.
Yeah, I got too much in my head. But, hip-hop has been at the forefront, and I'm actually glad to see that it's at the university level being taught to different courses, different classes, different courses. But damn, I can't remember this professor's name.
They got a course on Tupac, don't they?
Oh man, there's so many now. I remember seeing Mark Lamont Hill, the brother was on CNN and BET. He talked about a hip hop class that he was teaching. So, yeah, Todd Boyd.
Got your back, bro.
Todd Boyd, my brother. He's going to be mad at me, because it ain't too many black professors at USC. You got to know all the black professors. Todd Boyd. Yeah, so, and this was in 96. He had a chapter in a book about hip-hop. I'm reading this book. I'm amazed. Like, this is a professional academic book. One of the chapters is about hip-hop.
What do you think the current consensus, if a professor was to write on hip-hop of today?
Well, now today it's all intertwined with the criminal justice system. I love the history of hip hop, but you can't ignore now how the criminal justice system and hip hop have been overlapping in the last, like crazy in the last decade. It's a little disappointing.
But he said if he was to write the same thing with this era of hip hop, because being that the dress codes are different, you got people wearing dresses and clutch purses.
The people, the more popular artists, to dissect their lyrics is gonna be a little difficult to get some substance out of the content if you're analyzing the current music in the actual class. If you're going with the top people,
but if you're gonna focus on, let's say you're gonna write a paper about LA or West Coast rap, I think that you obviously got to throw Kendrick Lamar in there and his sort of his ascent, and then you got to throw in TDE, and you got to. I mean, the history of TDE is slightly intertwined to Death Row, because Top Dog had a relationship with Suge Knight and Death Row. I think he,
I don't know if Type Dog want that type of connection with his company. No.
but he was around that.
He had access, but he wasn't around.
But him having a relationship with Suge, what that got to do with his company being?
He didn't have. He knew Suge, had access to Suge, but he wasn't around Suge.
Well, let me ask you, what do you think influenced Top Dog in creating his record label?
Well, first of all, his influence in the music industry, Michael Conception is his uncle. So I would assume first and foremost, to behind the scenes of the industry, he probably was up close on it first, dealing with his uncle.
Do you think that Suge Knight influenced a lot of LA guys into moving into
From afar, like
Yeah,
looking at the
yeah.
of course, seeing that it's possible that a dude that necessarily didn't have a long-standing career in the industry could get in it with some, and street influence mattered. But I just know for a fact that Michael Conception, he's had a network that could probably entice someone. I know other real estate type things that Top Dog did, and he got them from his uncle.
Now, I know Mike Conception's claim to fame is we all in the same gang.
I remember when that dropped. I used to catch the bus past Stevenson Village all the time. And I guess he had the posters and shit. The kids that lived there used to jump on the bus with the posters before that shit even, the video came out.
And that was like, what, 1990? 89, 90?
80 something, yeah. 80, 88, 89.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the LA West Coast version of Self-Destruction.
Yep.
The East Coast had that hit back in like the late 80s.
Yeah.
Where they took a whole bunch of rappers and put them on one record. So I guess Mike Conception said, you know what, we're going to do the same thing on the West Coast.
I would love for you to try to figure this out with your research skills. One of the Whitaker brothers used to live in the Stevenson Village too. I don't know if it was Forrest Whitaker, his brother named Parnell, but one of them, we used to catch the bus with one of them fools too, not realizing that they was them guys or one of them guys. I thought it was only one guy all these years.
Wait, there's a boxer by the name of Whitaker, and then the actor Forrest Whitaker.
All right,
They're not related.
My
are they?
bad. Parnell Whitaker.
Yeah, that's the
All
boxer.
right, my
right?
bad, yeah. All right, Forrest Whitaker got a brother that acts as well.
Oh, okay.
And then you can see them at different times and not realize they're not the same person. Yeah. But one of them used to live right there in the same place.
Any of the people on We're All in the Same Gang are still around today?
Hammer.
MC. I mean, but still, let's say, still relevant in music. I don't think Ice Cube wasn't on We All in the Same Gang.
It was a Butter Law, Hammer, Easy E, the Yo-Yo.
I think JJ Fad.
Yeah. Who said you ain't guarding the door? So what you got to? That's
Tone Loc.
Self-destruction.
Tone Loc had
Tone
I
Loc.
think he had the first bar of the song. Oh, let me see.
Tone Loc was on. I used to know that shit by heart too.
I think Mos Def was on it.
Yeah.
And where's Mos Def from again?
Mos Def was not from LA, but he got put on under a label called Delicious Vinyl. You ever heard of Delicious Vinyl, Spider?
It don't ring a bell. I'm sure I may have heard of it. It don't ring a bell at this point.
It was that was Mos Def was on Delicious Vinyl. I think Tone Loc was also on Delicious Vinyl. But yeah, man, that those are the days, man. To me, I miss those days actually of hip hop.
You do?
Yeah. And I would say after like 95, 96, 97, I kind of distanced myself.
That's funny because recently on my page, Father and C liked one of my reels. And I said, damn, Father and C, he was hard at one point.
Do you know what label he was on?
Nah.
I believe he was on Uptown Records when Diddy was there.
Wow.
Uptown was a small label under Andre Harrell. Rest in peace. You familiar with Andre Harrell?
The name, yeah, of course.
He was the head of Uptown and was very influential in Diddy's life. And if you know about Andre Harrell,
And they give a lot of blame to why he act the way he act on Andre Harrell and other people too.
yeah, because I think, let's keep it real. Andre Harrell was a homosexual, and he was the head of Uptown Records, and he was under Diddy, and Diddy and Andre had a relationship, but Andre fired Diddy, and that's what made him start Bad Boy. Left Uptown. Uptown had Father MC, Heavy D. Who else did they have? Oh man, that was a hell of a label in the '80s. But all right, man. Big Meech is home, y'all, or on his way to being home. A lot of people say he's home. Hey, let me ask you guys this: when you're in a halfway house, do you consider that person home, or is he still in custody?
I consider that being out.
Okay.
I use him out. He out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't jail. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta. You ain't as confined. You know what I mean? So I consider that out.
You know what I find weird is that a lot of the Fed guys say that when they get out and go to the halfway house, they're still on paperwork. Whenever I hear the word paperwork, I think of snitches, informants, and rats, right? Paperwork. But paperwork has multiple meanings.
That's why I don't get caught up in all that paperwork. That's the internet made that word be so prominent.
But when if you're in a prison gang,
It's called you under paperwork.
you're under paperwork.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's the internet that made that like that, bro.
You think so?
I don't think so.
I thought paperwork has always meant snitching and informant as well.
Right.
But you just made it obvious that the primary thing done switched.
Okay, here's what I'll say. The internet doesn't focus on the other meanings of paperwork.
That's why the other ones are no longer thought of when you hear the phrase, like you just stated.
Yeah.
It's due to the internet.
So I think that Big Meech, he's still under federal paperwork because he's not technically 100% free.
Oh yeah, the halfway house. It's no need to even debate if he's 100% free. He's still under something.
But they call that paperwork.
Oh, okay.
Nah, if you if I get out of prison tomorrow, me being on parole is I'm still on the paperwork.
Yeah, and maybe we can.
On paperwork. All that shit, this shit, it do sound tricky, but when you talk about the jail politics, like, oh, he under paperwork, that don't get spoke on the internet as it shouldn't.
They
You know
have
what I'm
no clue, except the very few.
Right.
Yeah, I want to read a couple articles regarding Big Meech's release. Apparently, he got out a little bit early. In fact, I think on an episode of Richard Hart, Munchie, you was talking about the attorney Brittany that was working on his case. I can't quite remember specifically how that topic came up, but this was several months ago, and apparently she got some time taken off his sentence. Do you recall when the attorney Brittany Barnett came up?
Man, I remember the name. It's real fresh in my head, but I think we was talking about who was on the footwork for him as far as trying to get the BMF series out. And I guess he gave this person power of attorney, and that person wasn't right. You know what I mean? So that person was foul. So it was in question, why you dealing with this person if you know old girl Brittany, if I could recall right, this is the same person. Who?
Tammy.
So that's not even Brittany.
No, the person that who Meech was allegedly dealing with. Mm-hmm. Tammy Cohen, I believe her name is.
All right, so yeah, I'm confused. There's been a lot, you know what I'm saying?
It may be a Brittany too, but what you described is what he went through with Tammy. Tammy, the one that's the agent. That's all bad.
Okay, so which one was third party? Supposed to be third party.
That's Tammy CS1.
Okay, so no, I can't really recall what the Brittany thing. It's been so long ago, Richard Hart.
All right, well, according to the Source magazine, Big Meech is out of federal prison and serving the rest of his sentence at a halfway house. He is now a resident of the Miami Residential Reentry Management Office. According to TMZ, Big Meech has been removed from FCI Coleman Low in Wildwood, that's also in Florida, and moved to BOP's Miami Residential Reentry Office. He will complete his 30-year sentence in a halfway house. Early this year, Meech's sentence was reduced by nearly 3 years. He was initially sentenced in 2008. Meech's attorney, Brittany Barnett, claims Meech used his 20 years in prison to focus on personal growth and begin a new chapter in his life.
As he should.
Damn, I'm trying to remember touching on there, man, but we be covering so much. It's crazy.
All right, I'm going to tap in with Kenzo, who is he's got a lot of experience in the federal prison system. He was actually on an indictment that was related to the BMF, the BMF crew, I guess. I don't want to say gang. I try to avoid saying gang, but the BMF crew back in I think in 2007. And I want to ask him to give us a little bit of insight on the process of being released from federal custody. All right, hold on. Let's call Kenzo right now.
Uh,
Hey,
Kenzo,
what up? What up with it?
we're on an episode of Straight Politicking. I'm here with Munchie B and Spider Loc, and we were talking about Big Meech being released from federal custody, and we wanted to tap in with you to find out what that process is like when you transition from federal custody into a halfway house. But before we do that, just let the people know your history and your experience with the federal system, how you ended up in there, real quick.
Oh man, I ended up in there on a drug charge. Actually, uh, superseding indictment from the first BMW. I said BMW, BMF indictment. Dealing with a couple of the guys from BMF, a couple of my old partners, and a dirty rat, and a couple of dirty rats. You know, Ralph Sims, Robert Bell,
Wait, you actually naming the rats?
Paco. Paco is Robert Sims. Is Ralph Sims. Robert Bell. We used to call him Curly Head Robbie from Compton. Uh, Baby. Somebody that I let live with me for a while. His name is Eric Lewis, cold rap from Westside Piru. You know. But yeah. My federal, I did 9 years off of a 12-year sentence. Basically, leaving, they put you on they give you a bus ticket if you want it like that. Most people want to take the bus ticket because it give you more time to stay out and play. So if you sign up to get picked up, you got a shorter time to reach the halfway house. I think you get maybe, it depends on where it's at. So I came home from Lompot, and I told him that I was gonna take the bus, which I got picked up, but I got picked up at the bus station. So I had 8 hours to stay out and play. So from there, you go in, you turn yourself into the halfway house, bring whatever you want to bring. If people that met up with you, gave you clothes, gave you a phone, all of that kind of stuff. And the halfway house, they know, they don't too much care. You turn it into them, you give them the number, they cool. But if you try to hide it, that's when they catch you with it. It's a problem. So I turned myself in to the 93rd and Central halfway house. My first week, I was able to give them a telephone number. They want you to have a telephone number for your home confinement. And I was already told from one of my prior buddies that just left, the sooner you give them a telephone number from the address you're going to be, a landline, you qualify for home confinement. So I did that early. So I was able to get out of there early.
Are you able to go in and out, like to the store, to the mall, on a regular basis?
Yes. So you get store runs periodically to get your little zooms, wham whams, and your deodorants and toothpaste and all of that kind of stuff. They might give you 2 hours, but you also, a lot of people don't know. I used to walk to Will Rogers Park for an hour. A lot of people don't know, if you sign up every day to say you're going to work out or whatever, jog or whatever, they got to give you pretty much a pass to go, basically not to go to the gym, but go somewhere real local because it's only an hour. So I would go to Will Rogers Park, which is what, Ted Watkins now, and I would really have a female or something to come up there and meet me and sit around and talk. Never really working out. But yeah, then at that time I did the RDAP program. I didn't reap the whole benefits of the RDAP because I got into it around the time that I was in the RDAP program. So they did something called a recycle. they recycled me. So I was supposed to get out 2 days after Christmas, actually 3 days, on the 28th of 2016, and I got out April 17th, 2017, because I got recycled. And so that kicked me back, they took all them months from me. That was months that I was supposed to gain from being in the RDAP program.
Okay, so how does I was looking at your indictment from 2007. I was curious to know, how does a bunch of guys from Compton get caught up in a BMF indictment of guys that are from Michigan and Georgia?
Well, the BMF guys, my little brother, G Weed, was friends with Lil Bull and Big Bull, all of them guys. My cousin, Lil Dave, he from 190. They both, he was dealing with, he was basically like one of Meech's bodyguards, pretty much, always hanging around Meech, just really pretty much like doing bodyguard work with him. So him, Lil Bull, Big Bull, all of them brought the BMFs to me, because at that time I was doing pretty well. So they wanted all of them dudes, they wanted Meech and all of them dudes to meet me for some reason, and that's how it started. I sold them a car, which was my little brother's car that I had pretty much put together for my little brother, 63. So they came and, they paid me top dollar for $30,000 at that time, $30,000, and the car really wasn't all the way complete. $30,000 was, they bought that car in probably like 2004 or something, and maybe probably 2003 or something like that. I can't remember exactly when, but they had bought the car. So then, seeing some of the things that I had, my relative tells me, "Hey man, they asking about you, man. They want to see what you could do and this and that." And that's kind of how it started, because they came to my house, to my big house, and I had my 57, my 62, my Rag 4, I had a Camaro. I had all kind of cars, and they was like, "Oh, something going on, streets no streets." So they figured out, and then they started coming and hanging with me and messing with me, and I got close to the one that ended up being the biggest rat, Ralph Sims.
Now, real quick, your little brother G Weeder, he's currently in prison in Georgia still, but I remember.
No, he's not in Georgia. He's in Duluth, Minnesota right now.
Oh, okay. I remember when he was out, he used to hang tough with Kendrick Lamar. Can you briefly talk about how your little brother and K-Dot got close?
Well, K-Dot is from the area, and I don't know how they basically got close, but they always, Kendrick, I owned a barbershop and a beauty salon called Classic 2000 back then. I started it in 99, but I named it Classic 2000. I actually opened it late 99, and that was in the neighborhood on Rosecrans. So everybody, I had a really, really nice. A lot of people used to just come by. A couple Lakers would come up there and get haircuts. I don't know if you know Jaime and Mike, both of them, and a guy named Steve. They had some really high-end clientele. So they had the Lakers, even the Raiders. I remember some of the Raiders. I remember the little guy that used to play for Washington Redskins. First he played for Denver. He tried to buy a car from me, a little running back that was really fast, a little short guy. They would all just come to the barbershop and get cut, because we had a lot of nice-looking little women working in there, and it was just a place to be. And Kendrick and them used to come up there just to hang out, get their haircuts and hang out. Not just him. Faux Cent, Game. That's how Game met Jaime, and that's how Game ended up meeting Tiffany, his baby mama.
Oh,
Yeah, that
the
was
school teacher, Tiffany, the school teacher.
yeah. So that was pretty much. It was just a
I done got a
area,
cut up in here before too.
Me too.
a place to go to. Yeah,
Uh,
a
um,
place to go to.
Munchie and Spider said that they'd been in that barbershop before.
Yeah, it was just a cool. I mean, if they there, they knew it was just a cool place. And the thing about it, my one get down, because I was always a hustler. I was from my hood and this and that, this and that. But hustle outweighed the gang things to me. Money, it was money over anything with me. So I got families, the East Coasters. I got families Palmer by, you know. So anybody, it was neutral grounds in the shop, pretty much to me, And I always pushed that with my homies, and my homies was real respectful about it. The West Side homies was real respectful, even they used to see people come in there that they didn't even get on it. Hey man, kid, man, yeah, man, just let them make it, and all right, man, for you, stuff like that. And never no altercations and stuff like that. It was a real cool little thing.
All right. Before I let Munchie and Spider ask a couple questions, I just want you to explain when you're in a halfway house. What is the living like? Do you have your own room? Are you sharing a
No,
room? Is it like a dorm? What's it like?
well, 92nd is really really big rooms. We had 4 sets of bunk beds. So it was a bunk bed on each wall. What you got is pretty much like cell living, except it's just a little more free. You got your bunk bed. You got your little. You got closet space. Everybody got so much closet space to hang your stuff up, and everybody got up under the bunk beds. You got probably about a tote, and your upper bunk, he got a tote too up under the slides under the bed. So you can't have a lot of stuff, but it's better than being in themselves.
Okay. Munchie.
Uh, I don't know. I was just listening, man. I ain't really got nothing. I don't got nothing. But I know I used to get my hair cut at that barbershop. Oh boy, I know his son played for Poly and ended up going to USC. I can't remember his name. He used to cut my hair, but I remember that
Steve,
shop though.
Steve,
Steve did. There you go.
Steve.
Yeah. I remember that shop. That's crazy.
Yeah, Big Steve. Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
on though.
his son was a lineman.
Mm-hmm. Got
Hey,
something spotted.
yeah. Hey, so that's crazy that you say you was on 92nd. I always thought that was just a state facility. So is
It,
a
it
state?
was at one time. It
Oh,
was at one time. Prior, it
okay,
was.
okay.
It was.
I remember Big Spider was in that month when I was young. And another thing, you in touch with Big Meech at the moment or no?
Nah,
Okay.
nah. Last time I ran across the Meech was probably in the hole. I was in the hole on the incident uh, in 2014. I did from 2014 to 2015. I did about 13 months in the hole, and
Okay.
he came through there. I didn't really get to holler at him, but he came through there, and he was on the other end, and they was saying that he was down in it, but he came back there. It was kind of, they were saying he had a phone, but I don't think the phone. It was something he got out on. I mean, he beat the shot. They took him right back to the yard.
Okay. That's what it do. I appreciate you, homie.
I,
Yep, yep.
all right, hold on. See, since somebody you ain't got no problem. You know what I'm saying what it is because it gets sophisticated with the feds. I don't be understanding the verbiage and all that. So when it come to Bleu Davinci, is he good or is he
Snitch,
not?
snitch, bro. I hate to do it like that, but I'm gonna keep it 100, bro, all the time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I had the paperwork. See, I'm on a thing called my case is logged in. My lawyer, I paid for Pacers for a while. I don't know if you guys know what Pacers
Of
is,
course.
Oh
right?
yeah, I know.
Okay, well, I paid for, so you can sign up for alerts, right?
Mm.
So basically, when you sign up for alerts, like all them dudes from BMF that I don't even know, if they will put something in court, if Meech will put something in court, it's going to alert me. Even when I got out and people was putting in stuff in court, you got to like put in to get off of probation. I could tell you, like, when my co-defendants put in something to get off probation, if it was granted or denied and all of that kind of stuff, I was still getting those alerts, right? So Bleu Davinci. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. This is why I don't like to throw nothing on nobody's name, but if I know something, I'm going to say something, and that's just how it is, bro.
Respect.
So, now, with Bleu Davinci did a proffer, bro.
Can you explain to the people what a proffer is?
Okay, a proffer, you gotta tell the truth. Now, who do that? So you gotta tell the truth. Now, I look at it like this. Why they didn't ask me for a proffer? Because when they first grabbed you, I was on the run for what, 16 months or something like that before they got me. So when they first get you, the first thing they check your temperature. Yeah, man, you're a good person, man. I seen all the stuff you're doing for the community. You better help yourself out, man. You got kids, this and that. We've been watching you. You got a couple different girls that's not going to be out here. They try to play you. So they check your temperature. I say, man, the way I messed with the dude to let him know that I wasn't with it, I say, man, I don't eat McDonald's. Because the first thing they do is feed rats McDonald's. I told him just like that. And he just laughed. His name was James Smith. He was a black dude. He was the number one on my indictment. He was the head agent on my indictment. A little short black guy. I even got into it in the streets with him before. For him sitting down my street watching my house, I didn't know that's what he was doing, but somebody told me. We thought he was on some little kids because the little kids used to walk to school. So I thought he was a pedophile, so I sweated him, and it was his little mother. All the time watching me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but a proffer is basically you sign up for a proffer, and on a proffer, I can't say they give you a safety valve, but you get a downward departure. You know what the downward departure is, right?
You're gonna have to explain that for the people listening.
A lesser sentence.
Okay.
Now, all safety valves ain't hot. Let me just say that, because a lot of times, you know, we used to have paperwork parties, and guys had safety valves, and guys want to run the guys off the yard because they got a safety valve. But you have to look and you have to read what safety valve this person has. Now, you could have, let's say Munchie. Let's say Munchie had a safety valve because he never had a criminal history. He ain't never did nothing, this and that. He was in college, he was signed up in college, and he had a job, all of that kind of stuff. His mom's was sick or something like stuff like that warrants a safety valve. You know, the judge see a little lenience on you, he could give you a safety valve, which ain't gonna stop you from going to jail, but you'll get like the minimum, the bare minimum. It'll cut your time pretty much.
So it's unfair to assume that all safety valves are connected to informing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But anytime you see a safety valve with a 5K1, that mother's hotter than hell, bro.
And that's what Bleu got?
Bleu, he got a safety valve for basically, and I can remember reading. I'm just going off the head. If I really go to my mama's house and beat the walls, I'll find the paperwork. But I remember reading it, and they would ask him, "Who sits down with the feds anyway?" First of all.
But right now, off the top of your head, you can't put that specific 5K1 on his safety valve.
No, I can't remember seeing a 5K1, but it's a proffer. So when you have a proffer, just on a proffer alone, you agree to tell the truth. And any lie that they catch you in breaks that.
Okay, so he tried to put it like he was trying to beat the system, and he went and did the safety valve thing, and he debriefed and told them everything they already knew.
Yeah.
So is that, would you consider that stamping?
He said that? Bleu said he said
That's
that?
what he said out his mouth. He said he went in there and told them everything that they already knew.
Hey, but bro,
He said something like
corroborate. That's corroborate.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Munchie, let me ask you a question, bro.
Yep. I'm listening.
Spider Loc shoot me. Kill me. The police know that he did it from somebody else. They sit you down, you do a proffer, you gonna tell them what you know.
Right.
or
You
what
gonna
they
tell them
are.
that Spider Loc shot me,
Or
Yeah.
and
That's
it's
it.
cool just because of they already knew.
Hell
hey,
no. Yeah,
nah,
that didn't make no sense when
Come
you
I
on,
said
bro.
I don't
Come on,
find it
bro. Let's
straight.
make it make sense.
I'm laying it out for the viewers. I don't find it straight. But
Oh,
see,
okay, yeah. I'm just letting you know. You
yeah,
know, and I mean, and if they, I understand, yeah, that's the good way to lay it out, but it's not cool. I don't care. I've never known anybody that that didn't snitch sit down with them. They never asked me to sit down. Any of my other buddies that I know, if you read the paper, like, see, we had paperwork parties. I used to sponsor paperwork parties in jail. In
sponsor.
my, it's called K unit. I mean K unit, right in Lompoc. So by sponsoring, I say, look, y'all, I'm gonna go spend 200 at the commissary. I'm gonna get enough stuff just to make burritos or whatever. And if y'all want to get in, y'all can bring like zoom zooms and wham whams or whatever. But we gonna have a paperwork party for all the blacks. So bring your work. Come get your two. Everybody get two burritos, a cupcake, a soda. I don't drink soda, water, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we just sit and eat. We just eat. And sometimes we would do it on the yard. But the police know when you're doing it on the yard, so they'll run us off. They will run us off, take our food and all of that kind of stuff, and take our paperwork if they catch you with it, right? You know, so you got to think, bro. Them paperwork parties, sometimes if you do it in the law library in Lompoc, they can't do nothing. Because you can say, hey, I'm just coming in here and work on my case. They can't take your shit. So when we started transitioning, doing them inside the in the library. But to make a long story short, that is kind of what governs who you deal with in the feds. It ain't, because you got to think. I had never had a criminal history prior to this. I've never been to jail. I never did no state time, nothing, this and that. I had anything that would have sent me to jail. I got caught by the feds prior, but I beat the case. Now, the only thing I've ever been convicted of was a fake ID from the DMV. And I only got probation for that. But like I was telling you, I've read so many different people's paperwork, but you got to know the verbiage of the paperwork to declare if a person says something. Now, two things I look at: 5K1 and Rule 35. Rule 35 is it's a few Rule 35s, E, B, and all of that kind of stuff, A, B, C, D, or whatever. But a Rule 35 is the one where, say, I told on Alex, and it's not really out. That's when they seal your stuff. So if I told, and it's on the down low, they're going to seal the case for me right off the bat. They're gonna seal it so nobody will know until it's the time, right before if he decides to go to trial, that's when they got to bring all evidence. They're going to give it to him. So to make a long story short, the Rule 35 entails of you you're going to come back to testify against whoever you told on.
And that's a subsection of a safety valve.
Exactly. So that's pretty much what the person who told on me, one of the persons that I know for sure told on me, he had a Rule 35. No, that's not even a safety valve. That's just
Or
Rule
something separate.
35.
Okay.
It's different. A safety valve is
Something separate. I got you.
is different. A Rule 35 is just like a 5K1. It's just another way of telling to get a lesser charge.
And the feds is so sophisticated with the verbiage, is crazy. And and this is the last thing since the fire on anyway. Bleu Davinci, closer to Big Meech's release, he started trying to point the finger at him, saying he not good.
Oh, all right. Now let me say this, bro. I don't know like I said, I used to get alerts and get paperwork. So when I was in jail and I had to pace her through a female. So every time we get an alert, she would send me the paperwork. So she can't just read it. You know what I'm saying? Tell me whatever. I wanted it.
Right.
So that Bleu Davinci, I've had all of that. That's all I have to do is go to the law library, pull up anybody's name. The cool thing about in the feds, I could go up in there and I can put Munchie, Inglewood, everything you did, state case and everything is gonna pop up. It's gonna show. It's called, I don't know if you know about, it's kind of similar to Pacers, LexisNexis.
Yeah.
That's the name of the link. So and anybody will tell you that know me. When I was in the not when I was in the medium in Lancaster in Lompoc, I didn't go. I was on bullshit time, so I didn't go to the law library like I did when I got to the low. But I did go to the law library daily, all of my years daily. But when I got around them dudes who was big hitters, and a lot of them had life, a Big Rodney from Pasadena, all of them dudes was fighting to get back out, and me and Harry O used to be the first two. We had people putting you carry your little, it's not a backpack, it's a gym bag with your legal work in it. And we had a dude, because the law library opened up at 8:00. We had a dude, a little square dude. He was cool with he would go set our stuff in front of the law library at about 7:30 just to keep our spot. So we would always have the two front, because they only had like 6 computers. They had computers, because we was writing books and doing all of that kind of stuff, looking up case law, all of that kind of stuff. So we would just sit in there all the way from 8:00 to lunchtime. And if you were in the law library, you go to lunch before any other rest of the compound. So we would sit there all the way, and it's classes. A lot of people taking their GED. If you ain't got your GED, your ass was gonna be in there, or they gonna be calling you to allow you missing class. You better have a reason, or they gonna send you to the hole. That kind of shit. So they was in there, and then people was just in there freestyling, and then a couple people worked in there, So I was in there just reading, I pull up the homies, whatever. I was like, you hear about somebody and they supposed to be cool from something way back. You pull their name up, or most of the time you can just pull up their neighborhood, and that's when you see a lot of stuff. I've seen murders, all kinds of stuff from different neighborhoods. Just pulling up you just search a neighborhood, and it's just start telling you all it. You just start rolling down and down, case by case by case, and there's pages and pages on each case.
What is Big Meech's position on Bleu Davinci?
Oh, yeah, I don't know, but I know damn well he ain't digging it at all. And that was his boy, man. That boy had bought Blue a goddamn, I want to say it was close to $1 million chain at once.
I remember that chain.
Man.
Hey, you run across Big Kiko while you was in the Fed?
Kiko? Man, I had not Kiko, but I had so many good partners from the East Coast. Big JC, man, all the East Coasters was my partner, man. It's like the Coasters. That's why I really trip off of seeing the young tripping with the East Coasters, because I don't know if like I could tell them, I say, man, I don't know. The Coasters was, I mean, you can't say allied, but the Coasters was our partners. They don't, it's a coast thing with them, and they cool. They on coast time, but they wasn't never really tripping with the Bloods unless it was a problem. You know what I'm saying? They stood theirs, and everybody stood theirs, but they was always the good dudes, man. I'm really bad on remembering names, but I had some really some stump down cool partners, man.
The way y'all accept the homie J Box from the Q over there, it's always been like a, you feel me?
You know, just like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. My partner Ali from, I don't know which one he's from. I don't know where's Ali from.
I was just with your boy Jim Bob last week too, up at Compton College.
Yeah,
That's my
Bob,
nigga, yeah.
Yeah, but see, man, that's what like these young dudes. I don't know where it started, but man, that was crazy. And then I got family that's East Coasters too. My grandmother was on 102nd, right, three houses down from McKinley.
Yeah, I know right where you at. That's in
Right
the front
around
street.
the corner from Murphy.
Front street.
Right.
Yeah, right behind you on 101st. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't grow up under Melvin Butler. All of them dudes, man. Them,
That's right.
That's right.
That's
That
right.
shit crazy,
Hey, I want to let everyone know that Kenzo's the one that actually introduced me to FG when FG wanted to tell his story on how Mob James told on him. Wow. That all happened through Kenzo.
Exactly.
That's deep.
Let a rap be a rap, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we ain't got no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, lastly, I want to ask you about the facility that Meech was in. That they released him from FCI Coleman, which is a low. Are you familiar with Coleman? And also break down what a low means.
I know what Coleman is, but I didn't know he got released from Coleman. As far as last I talked to, when I was sending messages, I had a homie from Portland, Jay Bud. He was in Sheridan with Meech. So he would call me and we was like, what's up, this and that, through Jay Bud. They was in the same unit. So Jay Bud got in trouble and shipped out of Sheridan. So I didn't never got to say nothing, spoke to him since. But prior to that, after that, I remember Meech went back to Lompoc. They turned the pen into a low. So now they have two lows, Lompoc 1 and 2, two lows. So he had went back there for a minute. So I didn't know that he had went to Coleman. But Coleman is Florida. That's a cool spot. I heard it was really cool too.
Yeah, it's in Wildwood, Florida, which I guess is not too far from this halfway house that he's at in Miami.
I know it's nice.
All right, Kenzo. I wanna thank you for tapping in with Straight Politicking. We're gonna have to get you up here in person at some point.
Okay, let me know.
And I appreciate you tapping me in with FG back in December of 2021.
Oh yeah, damn, it was that long?
Yeah, December of 2021. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I dropped that interview in January 2022.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I got two partners that just came home. Both of them had life sentence. Speedy from Denver Lane and Ham from Denver Lane. Speedy had 2 life sentences and 30, and Ham, I want to say he had life sentence of 60. They both, Speedy did 28, and Ham did about 23, something like that. So.
I wonder what's Speedy on the case with Duncan.
No, Duncan. Ham was on the case with Duncan.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Ham was the head of that case.
Yeah, those are my pops boys. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah. Oh, he know. Oh, everybody knows Speedy.
Mm-hmm.
You very much. You would ask about him. You're really.
No, I know of him. What's up?
Yeah, he one of the ones, man. He one of the real ones, and he a good dude, man. Real solid dude. If I could get him to come up there, y'all would love it, man, because he's super duper intelligent about the business, man. Straight up dude, too.
That's right.
Well, tap us in when you can.
Oh, he with me every day, so surprised he ain't with me today. I had to go to therapy today. Had a car accident, so I had to go get my back worked on.
That's why you should.
All right, man. I appreciate you tapping in, and we definitely gonna be in touch.
Yep. Appreciate it.
All right, man. I
right on, Kenzo. Yep.
All right, yeah. Y'all be safe.
All right, take care. All right, there he goes. Kenzo did almost 10 years in the feds on a. Oh man, it's crazy that they're giving out like 10, 15, 20 years for drug trafficking. Most of the drug cases are non-violent.
The crazy thing, 10 years sound like a little bit of time. That's
does,
crazy.
yeah, it does.
That's a whole decade, but it sounds like, in comparison, it sounds little.
Well, Meech was supposed to do 30. It looks like he's right almost. I think, what is he at?
2/3, 19.
18 or 19?
19.
Yeah.
This year makes 19.
So that sounds a whole lot better than 30.
Yeah, I mean, but that's still a big chunk of time, 19 years.
I never believed he was going to do 30 years in prison back when he got sentenced. I was like, 30 years? This is ridiculous.
I had no reason to doubt it, but I see he didn't do 30. But I thought he was going to do like 20-something, of course.
Well, when Freeway Rick got out in what was it, 2009 or 10, he had a life sentence. You know, he got out after about, let's see, I'd say about something in the teens, 18, 19.
See, Melvin Butler did 30, so when they gave me 30, I wasn't surprised. I figured he was going to do 30.
Hey, Melvin Butler name always coming up, huh?
He one of them ones.
Yeah.
He one of them ones. He back down in the system for similar situations.
He's from East Coast, right?
From 9-7.
9-7, yeah. He's from your section. But, yeah, man, Kenzo is my, I guess you could say, my federal prison expert. Mm-hmm. And ever since he tapped me in with FG, man, I'm like...
We got a panel, though, of prison experts from the federal system.
Yeah, we do. But I wanted to tap in with him because he was actually
BMF related. Yeah,
that was BMF indictment.
That was
Are y'all familiar with his little brother, G. Weeder? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. He got caught up in the case out of state. Mm-hmm. And I remember G. Weeder used to pop up on Instagram. He was sort of like a funny guy, like a comedian guy. I was trying to get him to come on the channel once, and he was always making jokes about it, and I don't know if I want to do it. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. And then next thing I knew, he got caught up.
Mm-hmm. You know what caught my ear? What he said? I think Munchie mentioned it first. When I was young in Alabama, I had a nigga tell on me, and I got on the phone. I was like, "Cuz, you told?" He was like, "Man, they already knew. They told me."
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, I couldn't believe he was saying it like that was something supposed to matter. Like, they already knew. They knew everything. They told me everything."
Hey, see, but see, on Richard Hart one time, I was like, man, if I got it wrong as far as Bleu Davinci go, my bad, I apologize, because I started hearing some stuff that made me believe that Bleu Davinci was actually good. But then after that, I went back and I started hearing some opposing it. I said, man, I'm just gonna shut the
Hey, we should make Kenzo go to his mama's. Did he say he got the paperwork in his mama's house?
Mm-hmm. He said,
mama's garage or something?
What did he say? 5K1?
Yeah.
He said he couldn't attach that.
He wasn't 100% certain.
Couldn't really recall.
Yeah. But his thing is,
he said he remembered at one point being 100% convinced. He did say that, but he can't remember the detail that convinced him at the moment.
But he said if you're sitting there doing a proffer and you're answering questions with the feds, that's enough to be considered hot in the feds.
But what I said wasn't an example. It's what Bleu Davinci said. He said he went in there, he debriefed, he did excuse me with all the verbiage, I don't understand them all or whatever. But he said, I told him everything they already know. That's when he said, my client, if he wanted to help us, but he couldn't, or somebody said that. All that, but I'm like, man, come on, bro.
But once you go in there and tell them anything that's factually illegal, whether they knew it or not, that's no good.
Because it's called corroborating
evidence.
Yeah.
Corroborating statement.
You have one layer of truth, and now if you tell them what they already knew, that's another layer of truth. That's corroborating, and they get another person that's even making the.
I'm really hopeful that Munchie misheard him.
No, of course not. It's on the internet, and he explained it over and over again. He said, I told him everything they got, and then he's saying.
No, I heard that too.
He
Damn,
said,
Blue, cuz.
He said that Meech was wrong because they assumed that he told about some money or some dope that was in a compartment in the limo, but they found out somebody else told about that. So he debunked that. He didn't tell about a limo or no money or no dope, but you went and corroborated what they already knew and stamped that. You know what I'm saying? Made more validity to the evidence they already had.
Yeah, and like your example of the dude in Alabama, that's what a lot of people are saying. In fact, Snoopy Badass. Well, they already knew that TC was the one that did it. I didn't tell them nothing they didn't already know.
That's bunk.
You
that's
know?
El Bunko. That's not no defense for telling the police nothing.
Hey, man, despite what you said, you was there for the prosecution. You was a witness for them.
Yeah, that's
That's
a whole nother category.
That's where you hit. That's where the alarm sound at. You wasn't even there for the right people.
But I'm gonna try to get Kenzo to produce some paperwork to make this definitive, because I've been hearing conflicting stories about Bleu Davinci. And I've been hearing some people are on this side of him telling and some people on the other side. So I'm confused and a little unclear. But the way Kenzo says it, you gave a proffer, you're answering questions, that's enough in their definition.
Well, I go from this perspective at the moment. I tapped into some solid 190s and asked them if the homies fucking with them, and they said yeah. So obviously at the core level, everybody ain't convinced he all bad.
Sometimes it ain't about the conventions, about what a person could do for you, and how much they like them, and who they related to, and that's why people that ain't no good, they still be around, and it goes on in everybody neighborhood.
Yeah, we'll tap back in. I mean, I'm not really here to to convince people one way or the other.
Not convinced. We straight politicking. That's how you politic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody in love with him because, his daddy probably big so-and-so. Not in his case particularly, but you know how that shit go. You know what I'm saying? Alex got the bag. But Alex, he told on 50 people from over here. And,
Oh yeah, definitely happened.
But shit, Alex, he ain't tell on me. And whatever. And you go, no.
A lot of people are familiar with the term proffer when it comes to Keefe D being questioned by Greg Kading. That was a proffer session.
I've heard that term so often, but I've never familiarized myself with the actual definition. If it's always bad, I never quite understood.
Yeah, it's always bad when you're in a proffer session.
But I think he was ignorant to the difference between a proffer and immunity. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he had limited immunity. That meant that you're immune from everything you say in this proffer session. Not if you decide to go do an interview, to go write a book, to go tell somebody else something. But that means you should never speak on it again.
Who was advising him?
Well, he had a great lawyer, E.D. Fall. He's a high-powered attorney.
So apparently he went outside of his lawyer advice.
He went against his lawyer.
Oh, no. You saying that was his lawyer during the time of the interview with old boy, but after that, he ran free and did everything he did on his own.
Correct. The lawyer can't control what you do after.
But I would imagine the lawyer probably would have advised him, like, keep it zip, bro. This is a...
Yeah, I'm sure his lawyer said, look, everything you said here, you're immune. You can never go to jail. You can never go to prison. You can never be indicted for what you said in this room.
Right.
But what he said out the room is a different story. And that's a good example of a proffer session. Now, some people said, well, he told on the dead. That's not snitching.
Well, I feel differently about that.
Well, let me just say that the driver was still alive during that proffer session. He ended up getting shot and killed at a marijuana spot in Compton after that happened. But just so I want everyone to realize, everyone in that car was not dead when Keefe D gave that proffer session. But what were you going to say, Munch?
I felt differently about that. If I, did something with, say, the homeboy Mike B, and then he passed away, but then they come back and get me for something that me and him both did later on in life, as long as I can't get nobody else in trouble, I mean, Mike B did that. And I don't care what no listeners and viewers talking about. He can't come back, hop out his grave, do this time with me, or none of that shit. And I would want somebody to put the shit on me if I'm gone.
What about the argument that person has family? He's got brothers, daughters, sons, and now they got to live with the stigma.
And that argument don't even weigh in.
No, I don't. Hell no. Because
that way, then we wouldn't have been living this lifestyle.
No, yeah. No, that don't. That wouldn't even hit home with me right there. I'm gonna use myself as an example. If I passed away tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, and then me and you did whatever back in the day. If you can free yourself, do it and put it on me. Why would I want anybody sitting on a bunk for the rest of their life? You know what I'm saying? They could be free and I'm dead.
So back to the Keefe D example. Let's assume everyone in that car was dead. That means whatever he said, pointing the finger at who participated in the murder of Tupac, he would get a pass for that because everybody's dead.
But it depends on how far this investigation go. Because as we talking about this connecting back to Puffy and Von Zips and stuff, man, if you could keep it in the car and everybody dead, then that's something different.
Well, actually, he did mention Puffy in the proffer.
He blew it.
Puffy was alive still?
Yeah, you blew it. That's
Yeah.
telling. That's telling.
I don't even believe nobody in that car killed Tupac. So
No, what we saying what he did in his proffer, and then went on to do books about. Like he just wasn't a smart dude. You know what I mean?
All right, wait up, Spider. I'm not going to let you just get away with that one. No one in that car participated in the homicide of Pac.
yeah, I believe he concocted a story to and just threw some names in there.
What about during the Proffer session? You talking about he concocted the story for the interviews, for Vlad and for
I don't
BET.
buy it. I just don't buy it.
You don't buy neither. You saying right?
Yeah, I don't buy it.
Well, if he see in the Proffer session, like Kenzo said, the number one thing is you gotta be truthful, or you're going to prison.
Correct.
If he was untruthful in that Proffer session, I believe that Greg Kading, the LAPD, and the feds would have figured that out.
Okay, then
Right.
why wasn't the person that was still alive arrested?
Terrence, the driver?
Yes.
That's a good question. That's a question for Greg Kading.
Woo!
That's a question for Greg
We
Kading.
gonna get the alarms going. We get the soundboard going. All right.
Just because
But here's the
Keefe D
thing.
said anybody was in that car,
All right,
if that's the only
I'm gonna give you my best answer to that. Greg Kading was investigating the Biggie homicide because that happened in L.A. He wasn't investigating Pac. When Greg Kading believed that Keefe D had information on Biggie, he went into the Proffer session. Keefe D saying, "Look, I don't have no info on Biggie. I can tell you about Pac though." He offered up the Pac story. At the end of the day, LAPD can't do anything
That's
about.
what I'm saying. All you have is this story originated out of Keefe D's mouth.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like it could be either or.
But it pretty much corroborated the investigation that they had already going.
Man, bro.
And the reason why Greg Kading and the LAPD didn't do anything because it happened in Vegas. They have no jurisdiction.
So now Keefe D is a prayer book. I got you.
And if Terrence was still alive, I bet you Las Vegas would have arrested him.
So Keefe D is a prayer book. I got you.
What do you mean by that?
What comes out of his mouth is golden.
Oh, okay.
He sat there in the car, so they were there.
Well, I think sitting there in the Proffer session, he didn't know he was being recorded. He's there with his lawyer. He's trying to get out of a dope case. I don't know. What's an alternate theory for Pac then?
What you mean as far as what?
I got to tap out right there.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, man.
That's a little conspiratorial, but I feel you. I never thought that Orlando Anderson, Baby Lane, was the shooter. I felt like it was the other person in the back seat that was the shooter.
Yeah, maybe it was him.
But
How do you say it? What's the thing called? Murder rap?
that's Greg Kading's book.
Okay. I'm talking about like the documentary type style thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I was watching something recently, and then I heard something that I shared it with you that could be groundbreaking. I bet you will open up a case again. I'm like, everybody just overlooked that. But I'm like, do you remember what I'm talking about?
Nah, don't you? You gonna have to.
Yeah, say it later.
Yeah.
If it might crack open the case.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, man, come on, man, that shit crazy. You end up looking the dude name up. Like, oh, he used to officer for this how long, this how long, this how long.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
All right,
but-
I'll remind
but
you later.
You just left a cliffhanger there for the listeners. Now you got them scratching their head.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we move on to this? I wanted to talk about this Walking While Black, but this conversation is really interesting about the Proffer, Keefe D, Pac.
That's pretty much sums up all my thoughts, my immediate thoughts at least.
So you think he might beat this case, Keefe D, in Vegas, in Clark County?
Yeah, I definitely think he got action.
If he got a good lawyer, obviously.
Hey, but you look at the law books and stuff, and then like books where you study law, they got the elements, like the elements that's supposed to convict people, all that type of stuff. It say there's no excuse for ignorance of the law. So if you ain't understanding what you know what I'm saying, what's going on, man, you gotta ask questions and all that, because you would take a deal and you don't know what you're taking a deal for.
But what Keefe D better hope is they don't try to slide a conspiracy in there. He's not charged no type of conspiracy, is he?
I think the conspiracy would have been on there already.
I think that would be a lot easier to convict than the actual homicide.
Because all you gotta do is really conspiracy. Just you have knowledge of it. And, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
But all the Compton PDs believed that the South Sides were responsible for Pac from the beginning. Even Mob James went on multiple interviews saying that they knew that it was Keefe D and Baby Lane and all them dudes. So you got guys on the record that have publicly spoke on the Piru side that point the finger at them.
I know you personally are not putting Mob James' word up for
No.
Wait. You personally is not using that name to solidify no truth, are you?
Look,
But he talked the truth about everything else, though.
just because somebody
The wrong truth.
look, a guy's not lying.
We got to establish some type of parameters.
I know, but we all know that a guy, no one lies 100% of the time.
Exactly.
So you got to know when to, read between the lines and sift through the BS and know what's credible, what's not
But
credible.
you still are not at liberty to utilize the individual just based on.
You saying the Mob James is off limits?
For you can't use it.
I believe when Mob James said I was at Club 662 and I saw Keefe D and them outside. I believe that to be true. What else did he say?
And that kind of corroborate what the boy said, because he said they got tired of waiting.
And then Keefe D tells the story. They pulled up and they was out there waiting. They were parked there by 662. Then they drove off
Because they got tired of waiting on
So
them.
you got two dudes from rival hoods corroborating each other's story. That's pretty powerful. Even though both these guys we can say are liars, they've lied in the past. We know that they lied, but you cannot discount 100% of what comes out of a liar's mouth, right? I don't know.
Nah, you definitely. That's true, of course, but.
Especially
If you were trying to establish a point, bro, you make it. You take the validity back. You utilize certain names.
Look, the only thing that Mob James has really been deceitful and deceptive on is admitting that he told on FG. And who admits that they told? Nobody admits. So he's doing the normal thing, not to admit that you informed on somebody.
Stutterbox admit that he told.
Yeah, I was telling Munchie the story. I was gonna do an interview with a guy. I don't want to say the hood, and I said, "All right, let's do the interview on this day, and can we do it in this hood?" And first dude ever in 20 plus years of doing this said, "I'm not really good in my hood right now, Alex, so I can't pull up over there."
And he passed the interview on to somebody that was.
And he passed it on to somebody that was.
I respect that.
No one rarely ever admits that they're no good, that they told or they informed or something like that, So I feel what Mob James did is what 99.9% of people in that position are going to say and do anyways.
Lion said it until.
Yeah, Lion said they didn't tell, So, I mean, we expect the truth from especially when it's exposed on the level that it's exposed on. You got FG telling the story, 100% credible, and you're still saying, no, that ain't true. So that's what they do. So I can't
My point still remains personally.
Hey, he's saying something parallel to what I was saying when he was arguing with me. He's saying coming from you, saying that because
you can't, bro.
When I
why
said,
me?
Because you have put forth individually a certain perspective of Mob James that he's invalid.
Well, FG is the one that put that forth. I gave him the platform to tell the story, and I believe FG. So don't put it all on me. FG came forward,
I tap out.
This need to happen more though, man, because these people could dwell in your communities and take somebody else down.
And the only reason why FG came forward after seeing this dude on the internet for 5 years is because he said his name on Art of the Dialogue. He was like, wow, he said FG.
Man, tell FG, tell him to show it. I mean, if you got to show it. Man, I walk around here, man, they big homie me all the...
And that's when I got the call from Kenzo. So, but yeah, I'd love to know, I guess, off camera, your alternate theory of the Tupac situation.
I would never say it on camera and shit, and I'll be plastered all over the internet.
It's crazy because this thing happened 28 years ago. We're going on 3 decades almost.
It happened, what, in 96?
96.
When I was like 7.
Damn.
I'm about to be 35 next week. And
I was in Supermax. That's crazy.
And it's 2024.
You was in custody in September 96?
I was in Supermax.
Damn.
This shit happened. September 7th on the hood day.
What's that like, getting the word from crazy news when you're in custody?
It's crazy because just think the whole community reacts together. So
yeah, you can't enjoy in the reaction of what's going on the streets.
Yeah, some niggas are breaking down in there, but it was niggas like getting off the phone like, I just hung up with my girl. She crying, talking about Tupac died. I told that bitch, Tupac.
I'm in prison, huh?
Yeah, it was that, you had that element going on, but then you had niggas really heart was broke too, though.
That sound like what X-Files said when he was in jail and he found out, you know what I'm saying, everybody found out that Nipsey got killed. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. You should ask more people that's locked up during them times how like you know what I'm saying, the shockwave is sent.
Yeah, I always ask people about when they were in prison during the riots, because that's like you're locked up in '92.
Man, that's
The whole city's on fire and you in prison.
You feeling like you're missing out because you can't join the fun though.
Yeah.
Nigga, I was in prison when they did the OJ fucking verdict.
Oh, that was 95, October 95.
In the reception center, so we going from tank to tank getting, and nigga, I'm talking about imagine the whole tank's going up with a cheer.
Oh.
And the police hot as a woo, it wasn't a good day to be happy in prison.
Hey, those are like monumental moments.
Yeah, the COs didn't like that.
Okay, so you got the riots, and then you got OJ being acquitted, then you got Tupac, then you got Tookie dying.
Oh, Tupac died. Mm-hmm.
Then you got Tookie dying, and then you got Nipsey. You got all these big old.
Yeah, being in prison when Tookie got executed, that would have been December of 2005. Because I heard that they locked down all the prisons.
They did.
Yeah. So.
I had some cats from New York like call me talking about, yo, they just killed Tookie, son. What the Loc's gonna do? Like if I'd have told him at 3 p.m. shoot the police, it would have went down. I said, man, no, it ain't like that. But he was pumped up, like he was really waiting for marching orders. Like, nah, son.
Yeah, I didn't know you was in custody when Pac got killed. That's a trip.
September 7th on the set day. He got shot. He got shot on the 7th. He died some days later.
Yeah, he died like a few days later. When Biggie got killed, I went down there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I was watching it on the news. I was like, oh, shoot, that's right down the street.
That's crazy because they try to make Biggie and Pac. I couldn't tell you where I was at when Biggie got killed. I have for the life of me.
That was March of '97.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Were you already released from prison? Because it was just 6 months after Pac.
Whether I was, I remember the moment when Pac and I would have to go and try to what date was it to figure out the Biggie? I don't know.
I think he got killed. Biggie got killed in the same intersection I got shot on in Hollywood. Was it Hollywood and Cahuenga?
No,
Fairfax and Wilshire. Yeah, I was right. I was actually right here.
Is that right?
I was right here in this podcast studio when both of them got killed.
I know the intersection so well because my nigga from Brooklyn, we got a song together named Baguettes, and he say Biggie got killed on Wilshire and Fairfax. After that, we ain't get the facts, so I bulletproof the Lambo, holla tip the ammo. That shit was so hard how he said it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was right by the Peterson Museum, which if you go to the Peterson Museum today, they renovated that whole thing. It looks like some futuristic space mobile.
Oh, it's
silver and red.
Freeway?
No, you can't see it from the freeway.
It's not the Science Museum.
No.
Oh, okay.
But it's this weird silver and red building. That's not how it looked back then. It was the old, I don't know if people can remember this store, Orbox. Orbox was a department store that sold kids' clothes.
I ain't hip to Orbox.
Yeah, Orbox. That was the Orbox building. They converted the Orbox building into the Peterson Museum, and then they renovated it after Biggie got killed. But the way it looks now is not the way it looked when Biggie got killed. But I got some good footage of the way it was when Biggie got killed because I did a little documentary outside of the building. But yeah, that was just 6 months after Pac, March of '97. Hey, do you find any coincidence when people have songs or albums like Ready to Die and Death in it and then they end up dead?
Of course. But deeper than the one in all of them the deepest one to me is the Victory Lap.
Okay. Because Farrakhan once said that if you speak on death too much, it'll come knocking on your door.
I mean, I've heard that said, but they say, when they say the power of words, you can will things. That's why you're supposed to speak a manifestation. So that's not like a foreign concept.
Yeah. But in hip hop, though, it's kind of like
you have some
early hip hop never talked about death and dying and murder. That didn't really come out until
Pac kept hollering death around the corner.
Yeah.
It was around the corner. Biggie said, ready to die. He was out of here. Neighborhood Nip said, victory lap, which we know is symbolism of everything being over. And he passed upon his debut.
That's how you look at it?
What do you mean?
Like victory lap, everything being over?
That's exactly what a victory lap is. The end of the race.
That's what he told you?
No, that's what an actual victory lap is.
The victory lap is
after the
celebrating
race.
That you won the race.
The race is over.
Yeah.
And you still running though.
And you do one more lap.
Right.
Yeah.
The race is over.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's the last lap, bro. It's the one after the race is over. You go on a.
I heard you, bro.
But you can't. I'm looking at Alex talking to him. We're having a dialogue.
But you're saying it's a metaphor for the end of life.
We're talking about people that talked about the end, and then the ends came. in a metaphor sense, the victory lap is the end. He was running a marathon. He said his whole life was a marathon, his whole movement. How do you have a victory lap if you're still in the midst of your marathon?
Because you still live for another race, right?
He didn't say the marathons. This journey is a marathon.
Okay.
So if you come to the victory lap in a race, a marathon is a race. Come on, man. Like it's
Well, actually, in the marathon, there's not. This is a little. If we get technical, there's not a victory lap after a marathon.
and his there was.
Marathons don't stop.
Yeah,
You're going forever.
No, they're not at 26 miles.
Yeah, a marathon is 26 miles. It's like it's a little different because a lap is 400. Is one lap 400 meters.
But what is a victory lap? That's the we're talking about. What is a victory lap?
A victory lap is when you run around the track one last time.
Thank you. Let's get it out. Come on, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Bro. And what is death?
But all I'm saying is a marathon
One last time.
and a lap, they don't go together.
One last time.
I see what you're saying.
So the flags that he used to symbolize the marathon don't go together with a marathon either. That's not what they indicate. It's symbolic.
You talking about the black
black
flag?
flags.
Yeah. Is that the flag they use in NASCAR racing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they use laps.
And
Yeah.
But there's only one kind of victory lap.
Actually, I think the lap is more related to a car racing lap than a running lap.
But he combined the concepts.
Yeah. But a marathon is always running.
But a victory lap is always the race is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you won though.
He did win.
Yeah. I used to run victory laps, but I'm still living.
Just saying. When he's marking in a marathon, he's marking in a race.
Yeah.
So without being too detailed that the marathons don't have races, you wouldn't run a lap toward victory until the race is over, bro.
I ran track and field at Hollywood High, by the way. I just want to throw that
What
in there.
event?
I ran the 100 meter and the 400 meter. I used to do cross country, but we didn't compete. We didn't have enough people to do competitions at cross country.
At what school?
Hollywood High. Yeah.
I'm surprised. I thought you were gonna say something like Dominguez or Crenshaw or Loc. I'm not surprised.
Now, when I was a senior, the fastest guy in LA was a dude named Quincy Watts. He ended up going to the Olympics in Barcelona, and he broke a world record or an Olympic record. I think he's still around as a coach, but I just threw that in my little track
That's what it
and
do.
field experience.
You go.
Yeah. All right. I wanted to briefly talk about walking while black. Now, I'm familiar with the phrase driving while black. We've all probably been pulled over driving while black. I know I have been. In fact, we got body cam footage of Spider Loc being pulled over while black.
Oh, my mama.
And I'm almost certain when you was driving Munch, you probably got pulled over a couple times by IPD while you was black.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
I think we got pulled over for being black a couple months ago.
Sure did.
Oh, yeah. And then you got walking while black, but I also want to throw in riding your bike while black. Do you know what the new thing is when you're on a bike, what you get pulled over for now?
You're not right on the sidewalk. 'Cause I went to jail for it, bro.
Well, that's not the new. What's the new thing for riding on you getting pulled over on a bicycle?
I said reflectors, but that's probably not new either.
No, it's not having lights now. You know you have to have a light on the front of your bike and a light on the back of your bike.
Wow.
So if you don't got lights once the sun sets, that's probable cause.
Wow.
Pull you over. So I always tell my sons, they ride bicycle. Hey, where the lights at? Y'all ain't put no. I'm gonna be back before it's dark. Nah, I don't play that.
I went to jail for riding a bike on the sidewalk, and I thought that's where you're supposed to ride it at.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
They say you got bike lanes. I'm like, oh, y'all tripping me.
Wow.
I used to get pulled over on my bicycle for being on the opposite side when the cop wanted to be an asshole. I'm like, damn, everybody rides a bike on the opposite side of the road.
You supposed to go against
I'll-
traffic.
Hey, I need to see traffic when I'm riding a
No,
bike.
that's how you're taught to ride bikes
Nah,
against traffic.
You're supposed to ride in the same lane as traffic.
That's not how you taught though.
Oh, no. How you talking about some gangbang shit? You ain't supposed to walk against traffic or ride your
You're
bike.
supposed to ride with traffic.
Yeah,
Okay, that might be right.
A
That's
bike is supposed to respect the same laws as traffic, as cars. So if you're on the opposite side, technically they could pull you over for riding against traffic. But shoot, when I ride my bike, I'm always against traffic.
I don't trust traffic.
Yeah,
on a bike.
I don't want the traffic behind
I
me.
don't even want to be in traffic on a bike.
But you can get pulled over while on a bike as well. But I wanted to talk about this clip that's been going pretty viral of a white judge in front of a black defendant who was actually searched, found marijuana in his possession, but the probable cause was jaywalking. Walking while black, the judge says. Let's play this clip real quick.
Officers were dispatched to a possession of marijuana investigation at 100 Hollows Tree Lane in Harris County, Texas. Officer was informed defendant crossed unauthorized crossing point from convenience store to apartment complex. Officer observed strong odor of marijuana.
Wait. He did what?
That's the judge.
He says he crossed an unauthorized crossing point. So I guess he crossed the street.
To jaywalking?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. And then
Walking while black.
And it says the officer observed a strong odor of marijuana, and he was informed that the defendant had begun to walk backwards upon being asked about marijuana by another officer. A PC search was conducted, and the officer observed a large sack of marijuana.
I don't think so. He's walking while black. I don't think so. I'm going to find no probable cause.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Blake, be careful, man. You know, the world is against you. Don't let him be. Do something with your life. You know what I mean? The more you just, come on, man.
All right, go ahead, Munch.
That was the first time, you know what I'm saying, me checking the clip out, and it sounded, that might have been a white boy that was raised around like a portion of Texas where it's black people, heavily populated with black people.
Yeah, that did take place in Texas.
Because dude, like do he sound like like a white boy? He sound like he more, where am I tripping?
I hear that little lack of professionalism in his voice.
Right, it seemed like he might have been raised a little bit around.
When he said what? When he said that part,
I think you're impressed by this.
Oh, I was just telling Steph when we saw this. I wish more judges were like this
In this moment that he was in.
Yeah, because there are probably hundreds of examples of brothers in court where police officers created probable cause for the arrest, and nothing happens.
But he has probably hundreds of cases available online. I think this is probably your first time stumbling across him.
Yeah, it is.
This is the first time he's done something of this nature, but he seems to be pretty familiar with the term driving while black. He said the world is against you to the black man. He did not apologize for the black man being inconvenienced in his courtroom and treated like someone is just walking while black. So it seems like he's either playing for this series that he does, because he has a lot of clips online.
Okay.
And he seemed to be, I'm not impressed at all, because if that was something he was doing to fight the wild black, we should have many more clips of that.
Well, maybe he doesn't get these too many of these cases in front of him. I don't know.
Why is he so familiar with the term of wild black? Driving while black, walking while black. What did he get familiar with it? He's a judge.
Maybe because of the media. I don't know. Well, his name is David Fleischer, and he's a Texas judge, and I'm gonna give him some props. I hope he wasn't doing this for the cameras. I hope he wasn't doing this for entertainment. I hope it's genuine. I hope it's sincere. And for Spider, I hope we find more clips of him doing this.
It comes across disingenuous to me. Where is the apology to the young man? He warned and admonished the young man.
Hey, so you think the judge owed him an apology?
Doesn't he represent the system at this point?
I think that DA that picked that dumbass case up instead of rejecting it.
It should have been a DA reject, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
that should have been rejected.
But the judge did not owe him the admonition to do what he told him. That's why he signed him. Professor he said, come on, the world's to get you. Don't be, come on, you know. What the fuck does that mean?
Basically, he's saying, look, you got caught with weed on you. Obviously, the police are watching what you're doing wherever you live at. Change your life. Don't get caught up. He said, basically, he's saying you're gonna end up in jail eventually. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get me as the judge, David Fleischer, every single time. So change your life. I think he was giving him some good like father-son advice.
For him to be getting props, I think the settlement afterwards should have been like, I'm sorry, sir. This is terrible. You are living in a country where you can't even walk down the street black and you got to be treated this way. That's where we seen a judge in Texas get off the stand, a black judge, and hug a white murder suspect. So I'm not impressed personally.
You know,
in that example, in Spider's example, that was a cop that was on trial for murder. When the judge,
a convicted murderer,
ex-cop,
convicted murderer,
where the black female judge
hugged her,
came off the stand and hugged that cop. Yeah.
But this dude, you in here according to the judge just because you're black, but no apology. I don't buy it.
I'm good with making the DA look stupid, because I know the DA feel real little right now as he was reading off this. I don't even know what you want to call that. And
Charges list. I don't know.
Yeah, he trying to describe. He didn't even want to say the word jaywalking. He said crossing the street in the, I forgot how he worded it.
An unauthorized crossing area.
Right.
Try to make it an official, make it really look like a crime, right?
Right. So just say jaywalking, because that's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
He did what? Jaywalking?
So I'm good with him making the DA look dumb. And then, when we go to court, it be us, this dude, the student tied next to us, and everybody else in the courtroom against us, except for the family members that came for us, the typewriter lady, the jury, the judge, the DA. We think all of them is ops. So I give him a little props for that and making that DA look dumb. I wish we had the DA name.
All right, Judge Fleischer, you haven't impressed Spider.
Not at all.
But I do appreciate that we have this documented on video for people to see, because it is a big deal. The way police manipulate probable cause is something that black folks deal with every day in America.
The judge needs to be fully aware of that.
Yeah.
We only have one episode of example of him protecting someone like that.
I had a debate with a police officer when he pulled me over when I opened up my glove box and I had a box of bullets there. And he says, I'm going to have to ask you to get out the car. I'm going to search your car. I'm like, for what? This is a traffic stop. He said, I see that box of bullets. That's probable cause. I said, a box of bullets is not probable cause, bro. That's legal. I have a box of bullets in my glove box is 100% legal. I'm not a convicted felon. I've never been to prison. So we're gonna have an argument. We're gonna have a debate right now. He really wanted to search my car because of a box of bullets, and I actually won that debate.
Right.
I said, call your supervisor out here, and eventually they let me go without searching my car. But damn, why do I got to struggle and argue with a cop about what probable cause is and what probable cause is not?
Because you're basically in a high crime area and they have a different set of regulations. So you came across with so much confidence and knowledge, you probably intimidated them. But eventually, usually the person would comply and get out.
Yeah, but in this example with Judge Fleischer, jaywalking technically is illegal. So it is, I guess, quote unquote, probable cause. But it is one of those probable causes that's used as an excuse by the police all the time.
That's why
a million people can jaywalk, but it's the one we're gonna pick which one we're gonna push up on.
Like we should have a lot more examples of Fleischer throwing shit out on this little pocket, whatever he's doing, because there's a tons of clips of him in his court.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. I usually see the black. You ever see the older black judge?
Yeah, I've been seeing him too.
Yeah, I see him all the time.
I see him too.
I like him.
And you know what? They might not be personally responsible because of it's public knowledge. It might be other content creators that grabbing them and doing series out of them. They might not even be involved.
But I wish I had the prosecutor's name for you, Munch, because that's really the one that I'm upset with.
He got the power to reject these dumbass cases and what to bring in the courtroom.
You could reject the case before you even waste the judge's time with it.
Mm-hmm.
So all the cases that start with strong odor of marijuana need to be thrown out. 'Cause that's how they've been licking us for years, bro. That's they
But
probably
they got other man. The angle be like, your tents, right? They say tents, or they be like, oh, I smell some marijuana.
Yeah, that's the get out. The marijuana is the get out thing.
I had that tried on me once. The cop said, I smell marijuana. I said, you don't smell no marijuana over here. I don't smoke marijuana. You smell a cloud of air that just drifted through of marijuana.
I think that's no longer a probable cause in California.
It shouldn't be because marijuana is not illegal.
Right.
But I heard it recently used that a cop used it.
How recent though?
Pretty recent.
You sure you're not thinking about my situation?
No, not your situation, but your situation's very recent. What was that, 2023?
No, it's 21. 22.
22? That was 22? But marijuana was legal in 22.
Yeah. But they technically didn't use the marijuana. It was just the license plate in the front and the tents.
They never said we smell marijuana when they...
when I rolled my window, I had a roach in my mouth.
Yeah.
I had a pound of weed in the passenger seat.
But traditionally, that's when it be the tents. They say the marijuana
They use the tents to get up on you, and then the marijuana to get in when they walk up on you.
Oh yeah, that tent. I used to when I bought my truck, the tent came with the truck. Mm-hmm. Once I got pulled over one time for tinted windows, I removed the tent off the front windows, the front side windows. The back is legal. Mm-hmm. The front side, I was unaware that you can't have it too dark on the. But when I'm walking around and I'm watching all this traffic, I'm like, damn. Everybody's got black tint on their windows.
It's just a fixer ticket, so you can go take it off, get it, and go put it back on.
Yeah, but I don't see people getting pulled over. It's like with this Judge Fleischer example. How many people we can go right now and go on Western and count literally 100 cars that are tinted illegally, and none of them are getting pulled over.
That don't stand up in court. They should make it illegal for the tinting companies to even provide that level of tint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy that the tinting companies hold no accountability for it.
It's
Because I was unaware. I'm thinking, okay, if it's available, it must be cool.
No, that's what I thought at first.
I didn't heard, oh, you didn't come to a complete stop at this stop sign. Man, I stopped.
They call that a California stop.
Man, I call that BS. Y'all bothering me, bro.
Yeah, so there's all kind of ways that police officers try to manipulate the rules of probable cause, because it is kind of subjective. Probable cause actually is subjective.
So you get the whole stop and frisk stuff wrong.
Yeah.
So they need to have a more of a strict rule, bro.
But, I know it's probably immature to some. That's why we used to run. And we didn't have nothing. Just
Right.
break on you. Because it ain't evading until a crime is done. If you running from the police ain't against the law. Unless a crime is already committed, and then you break. Then that's evading. Me just breaking, I get away, they see me next time, they gonna be pissed off. Because I used to do it all the time, show them all Nikes. Pew! Yeah, all right.
All right, well, I'm gonna give the judge a shout out. I appreciate it. We need more of that, and
Plenty more.
but look, it might have a ripple effect if other judges see that.
Hopefully.
It's got to start somewhere.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
It's got to start somewhere.
yeah, because blacks still will be driving and walking
And
riding bikes.
and stop pulling bikes over that don't have lights on them. We rode our bikes for decades without having lights on our bikes, and now it's the law. We got to have a light, and if you don't have a light on your bike, you're getting pulled over.
Put a light on your bike.
And they're gonna search your back if you got a backpack. And usually, it's only the people that have backpacks.
They want to see if you got something in there.
They want to see what you got in there, and their probable cause is, you don't have a light on your bike, and they're going through that backpack.
Put lights on your bikes, man.
Yeah, the reflectors ain't enough no more.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and also here's another one that cops use before we wrap this up: the light that lights up your license plate. There's two little lights that light up your license plate on the back of the car. Those bulbs go out, and you usually don't replace them because they're so tiny, and it's hard to get to them. But when your bulbs are not lighting up the license plate, that's another probable cause stop.
And they sell chicken shit. Probable cause is having a air freshener tree hanging from your mirror.
Oh man, that's another good one. Hanging anything from your mirror when millions of people got things hanging from their mirror.
But that's what happened when you drive while black. They pull you over because they want to, and you say, "What you put me over for?" They point at the fucking air freshener on that mirror. You like, mother.
All right, man. Let everybody know where they can tap in with you, Spider.
Spider Loc Most Easty, the number 7 on Instagram, and then Spider Loc Most Easty on YouTube is where the black box is found.
And we gotta tap in with Spider Loc's YouTube channel. Get him up to 100,000. You're very close, but very far at the same time to 100,000 subs on that
We
YouTube
almost
channel.
right there, man. And Cliche 93 TV, we trying to get that cracking too. So follow up, please, my peoples.
And Munchie B, you got your YouTube channel, but you haven't been doing too much on it. What's up with that?
Nah, man, I'm gonna get it going. I sound like a poor father that never come through. But man, everybody follow my Instagram, MB_TH8 Mayor, and Morals Over Money 92. That's YouTube and that's TikTok. So you know what I'm saying, tap in on tap out.
All right, and we're available on all podcast platforms. Make sure you tap in with Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and also on all your smart listening devices. Just say, I want to listen to Straight Politicking. It'll come up. Alex Alonso 101 on all your platforms. We'll have all the social media links in the description below. And thanks for tapping in on another episode. We out.